Hey guys, welcome to the channel, welcome to another video. It's that time of the week again, it's Premier League predictions time. Another round of exciting and intriguing Premier League encounters are almost upon us for this upcoming weekend. And this, of course, is the video where I talk about the games, analyse them, and of course try to give my predictions on how I think each and every single game will turn out. But before we get into all of that, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you are new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. And I also encourage you all to get involved in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling ahead of this weekend's round of Premier League fixtures. Your thoughts, comments, opinions, feelings, but most of all, of course, your predictions will all make for great and interesting reading, because after all, people, where would a Premier League predictions video be after all without predictions? Sound good? Great. Now let's kick things off, shall we? And we are starting with a game at the Amex Stadium, a game by the seaside in Brighton taking on Leeds. And as you can see, I have gone with a 2-1 victory in favour of Brighton and Hove Albion. Look, it's not been a great season so far for Brighton. It could have been a lot better, but there is still room for improvement, and there is time to obviously gain that room for improvement. Not through lack of trying, they are creating opportunities, they're just sometimes not taking them, and they are leaking stupid goals. This is a good opportunity for them to get 3 points on the board here. Against the Leeds side, who of course picked up a big win last week against West Ham, but ultimately have struggled somewhat away from home over the course of the season. So it's a good opportunity for Brighton. It's not at the realm as a possibility for Leeds to get something from the game. They of course have got a good opportunity of doing that. Like I say, Brighton haven't exactly been completely at the races this season, but I would expect with them being the home side, Brighton will take the 3 points in this one. Next up, Burnley taking on Arsenal. I see this being one of the most favourable games this weekend if you are fancying a bit of a bet, because I only see one winner. Arsenal are in exceptional form. They are looking impenetrable defensively, and I think that this is probably going to be another easy outing for their goalkeeper David Raya and for their defence. I think it is going to be straightforward as far as what Arsenal are concerned. It's going to basically be a question of probably when and not if Arsenal score, and then from there they should have a pretty comfortable afternoon. That's not being disrespectful to Burnley whatsoever, but the past few games have really displayed Arsenal's incredible strength in defending, their composure at the back. It has really been defensive masterclass after defensive masterclass as far as what Arsenal are concerned, and I don't see that faltering here. I'd be very surprised if Burnley did get something from the game, and I'd also be even more surprised if Burnley were to actually score against this Arsenal setup. So again, one of the probably more favourable games to call this weekend. I'm going with a comfortable 3-0 win in favour of Mikel Arteta's side to strengthen their position at the top of the table. Next up, we're at Selhurst Park for Crystal Palace taking on Brentford, and I've gone with a 2-1 win in favour of the home side. It's not been a bad start to the season as far as what Brentford are concerned. Probably a lot better than what a lot of people are expecting, and a big 3-2 victory over Liverpool last week is even more of an example of that. This game will see two good strikers go up against each other this season. One in Jean-Philippe Mateta of Crystal Palace, the other in Igor Thiago of Brentford. Both are in fine goal-scoring form in recent games. So it's going to be an interesting clash between these two strikers. But I think that Palace may just have enough about them, maybe in the midfield and defensive areas, as well as obviously going forward with the likes of Sarr, Yeremy Pino, and of course Mateta himself, to maybe get the job done over a Brentford side who will be tough opposition, but I just don't think they'll have enough in key areas throughout the course of 90 minutes to fully neutralise and stop Crystal Palace and also win the game themselves. So whilst it isn't out of the realms of possibility for Brentford to get something from this game, I'm going with a Palace win for them to get the 3 points, especially with them being the home side. I give them the edge there as well. Moving on to Craven Cottage, we've got a big game between Fulham and Wolves. Wolves still, of course, winless, without a win this season so far, coming up against a Fulham side who are better at home than they are away from home. So that's why I've given them the edge in this one. I think Fulham will get the job done being the home side. Again, Wolves getting something. It is obviously desperate times right now for Wolves, and you do fear that maybe, just maybe, if things continue this way, then the head coach could be fearing for his job. We'll obviously have to wait and see on that one. But, yeah, it's going to be probably another defeat for Wolves in this game. Like I said, Fulham are better at home than they are away. So I'm going to give Fulham the edge in this one. And I'm going to say that Fulham win this game by 2-1. Next up, big game at the City Ground. Looking forward to this one. Nottingham Forest taking on Manchester United. Nottingham Forest side who have had an up and down start to life under Sean Dyche, of course. You've got a big win in the Europa League against Porto, followed by the inevitable, seemingly, defeat to Bournemouth last weekend. How will this one go? It's obviously going to be at the City Ground. It's going to be at home, so that's going to be big for Sean Dyche and for those Forest supporters. And they're coming up against a Manchester United side who have found a bit of form in recent games. They are currently on a 3-game unbeaten run. Now, I doubt United fans can probably even remember the last time they went 3 games unbeaten, or even 3 games in a winning streak. That is the situation right now, and they could be about to make it 4, and you'd probably suspect that with the form of Nottingham Forest that United have a very good opportunity at doing that. But this is a potential banana skin in waiting. What we know about Forest is that they have the players to cause United problems. What we know about Forest is that the new manager could throw a bit of a spanner in the works. It's going to be an interesting battle, but it is one that I would suspect that with the recent run of form of United, with the recent results, goal scoring, that kind of thing, if they could just stop leaking stupid goals, then maybe they may actually perform a lot better going forward. But they have built the platform to obviously build upon. United to win this game. United to win this game. Cunha got his first goal of the season recently, and Buemo has been on fire recently. I can't see this being a Forest win, in all honesty. Could they draw? Being at home, you wouldn't put it past them, and you wouldn't also put it past United slipping up at any time soon. They do seem to be a bit of a ticking time bomb if recent history is to obviously be anything to go by. But at the same time, I probably suspect that United probably do get their 4th win on the bounce. So I'm going with a 3-1 win to Manchester United, and it's going to be an interesting game nonetheless. So I'm looking forward to this one. Saturday's late night fixture once again comes from Anfield as Liverpool take on Aston Villa, and unfortunately I can't see Liverpool winning this one. This is probably the first time in a very, 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 very long time that I've ever backed against my club. I don't want to. I feel dirty and horrible doing it, but I've got to be real and I've got to be honest about everything that I do. So yeah, I can't see Liverpool winning this one. I want to say Liverpool win this one. I want to say we stop this horrible Premier League rot we are on right now. 4 losses on the bounce in the Premier League. But unfortunately, I can't see that stopping against this Aston Villa side. And Aston Villa side, by the way, that are in a bit of decent running form themselves. They beat Manchester City last weekend, of course. And this Liverpool side right now, they have their confidence on the floor. They look shot to pieces. They look worried. They look scared. They are confused. They're second guessing themselves. There is no cohesion. There's no unity, it seems. I don't know how we win this game. I'm looking at it like I don't know how we win this game. Could be maybe cheese a draw out of it potentially, but I don't see how we win this game. Especially when I look at the Aston Villa midfield, and all I do is I look at the Aston Villa midfield and I go, they're going to run straight through us. They are going to run straight through us. Unless Arne Slot has got some big master plan up his sleeve to change things around, which we've been calling out for the past few games, which he's not done, unless you, of course, count Frankfurt in the Champions League. Aston Villa are going to wipe the floor with us. I don't want to say it. I hate to say it. I want to be more positive than what I am being. But this is just the way that I see it. And if this is to happen, it could be even more bedlam in the Liverpool fan base with the Liverpool supporters when it comes to discussing very uncomfortable, delicate topics such as the manager's current position in the setup at Liverpool Football Club. A win is non-negotiable. We have to win. Liverpool have to win. After what happened midweek in the Carabao Cup, the way that Arne Slot conducted himself in that game and the way that he basically hung the kids out to dry, as well as some of the fringe players of the team, a win here is non-negotiable. We have to win. Do I see that happening though? Recent form tells me no. The way that we've played in recent games tells me no. The way that our midfield has been ran through at will like a hot knife through butter tells me no. I want to be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. This is basically a plea for them, for Arne Slot to go out there and prove me wrong. I just can't see it. I don't want to back against my club. I feel horrible in doing it. But at the same time, I have to be real, I have to be honest, and I have to call it as I see it. And this, right now, is the way that I am seeing Liverpool Football Club. And I hate it. I absolutely hate it. But that's the reality of the situation. 3-1 Aston Villa. The midfield battle will be won by Unai Emery's side. Moving on. We're at the London Stadium for West Ham United taking on Newcastle, and I've gone with a 1-0 win to Newcastle. Now, Newcastle's away form this season has been pretty poor, but coming up against this West Ham side, they will certainly fancy their chances of winning this game, simply for the reason that West Ham have been poor themselves, whether it be home or away. And the new manager of Nuno Espirito Santo hasn't quite had the instant impact in the positive way that they were probably hoping for. Nick Voltemena is in inspired goal-scoring form. I would probably suspect that he would fancy his chances of getting on the score sheet yet again for this Newcastle side. I honestly can't see anything more than a Newcastle win. Maybe 1-0 might be a little bit harsh on Newcastle. Maybe they could actually get 2 or 3. But either way, they are certainly picking up 3 points from this game, in my personal opinion. We're moving on next to Manchester City taking on Bournemouth, and I've gone with a 1-1 draw. This could yet be another incredible weekend for Arsenal Football Club. Another win for them, potentially, and dropping of points from the likes of their rivals in Liverpool and Manchester City, if my predictions are to come to fruition, because I predicted Pep Guardiola's side to once again drop points in this one. Look, Bournemouth have been fantastic so far this season. They have been absolutely brilliant in the majority of aspects in the way that they've played, conducted themselves, and their individuals have shone through. The likes of Antoine Semenyo, Senesi at the back, they've all been brilliant. They're coming against the Man City side who will be still maybe licking their wounds a little bit from last week's defeat to Aston Villa. A very rare occurrence in which both City lost and Erling Haaland misfired, blanked on the day. But, you know, City, Bournemouth, it's going to be a tough game for both of these sides. It really, really is. And although I could see Man City winning it, being the home side, Erling Haaland maybe getting back amongst the goals, Bournemouth will be dangerous. Bournemouth have been dangerous all season, and I feel like if they get their counter-attacking game absolutely spot on the day, they will cause havoc for that Manchester City defence. So I'm going for a 1-1 draw, but really, I wouldn't be shocked if Bournemouth get a win, you know. I wouldn't be shocked whichever way the result goes, but I'm calling it down the middle, and I'm going 1-1 come the final whistle. Next up, moving on to Monday night's game, and it comes from the Stadium of Light, where Sunderland will take on Everton, and I've gone with a 2-1 win to the Black Cats. Now, this isn't out of the realms of possibility for Everton to get something from this game, of course, and of course this is going to be a return to the Stadium of Light for a certain Jordan Pickford. But at the same time, I think Sunderland have been fantastic this season. I think they really have been fantastic. I think they've been a breath of fresh air for newly promoted teams in the Premier League. And I can see them getting a win here. I really, really can. I think with the way that they've been playing recently, the form, the confidence, and everything else that goes along with that, I think Sunderland can get a very, very good win in this game. Like I say, I'm not entirely confident with this. I could see Everton getting something from the game, maybe even a win. But with the way that Sunderland have set up this season, is particularly at home, making the Stadium of Light an absolute fortress, I think they can get a massive win on their hands in this game. I think this could be a very special Monday night for the Red and White Army of Sunderland. And it's something that I'm looking forward to watching and viewing. I think it really could be a good game to watch this week. So I'm going with Sunderland to win. I'm not entirely confident. Obviously, you know, Everton with Jack Grealish and Dai, they've still got their own threats as well that Sunderland will have to obviously take into account. But it could be a very good game. And it's one that I'm very much looking forward to. And finally, what I believe to be the biggest game of this round of fixtures, the main event and the highlight of this round of Premier League fixtures, we're at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for a fierce London derby between Tottenham and Chelsea. And I've gone with a 1-1 draw between these two teams here. Look, this could end any which way. Any which way imaginable. This could be 1-1, 2-2, 3-3, 4-4... 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, so on and so forth. It could be anything, this game. The reason I've gone down the middle is because I can't really separate them, in all honesty. Chelsea come into this game off the back of a defeat to Sunderland last week. Poor defeat. Shocking defeat. They're a bit up and down right now. They're a bit up and down. Tottenham come into this game. They're slightly less up and down. They're more consistent, I would say, than Chelsea, having been third as well. That kind of helps. But at the same time, in saying that, it is Tottenham. We know that they can throw a bit of a spanner in the works, whether it be for the opposition team or for their own team. Thomas Frank, though, seems to have got them playing at maybe not the most exciting of paces, maybe not the most exciting of styles, but more pragmatic, more responsible, more efficient, shall we say, is what Thomas Frank's style is. And we knew that going into this whole Thomas Frank regime, that Spurs were going to be more disciplined, more resolute, and obviously, like I say, more disciplined. I'm intrigued by this one, though. I can't wait for this game to unfold. I am looking forward to watching this game unfold before my very eyes, because I think this game is going to have it all. I really, really do. And the reason I only say 1-1 is because I don't necessarily trust either of these two teams to finish off the chances that they may create. Unless, of course, Mickey van der Ven turns into prime R9 again, like he did last week. Then, obviously, Tottenham may have the slight edge here. If I had to pick a winner, I'm leaning more towards Tottenham, in all honesty, than I am Chelsea. But I'm going to call it down the middle. I'm going to go 1-1. Again, the scoreline I'm not entirely confident with because I feel like there could be more goals here, but there could also be a lot of missed opportunities as well. So I'm going 1-1, but oh my god, I am so looking forward to this game. I'm looking forward to more games outside of my own club than I am within my own club right now. So I can't wait for this game to unfold. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not entirely confident by the scoreline or the result, in all honesty, but I am expecting one hell of an entertaining game when these two fierce rivals clash. And there you have it. Those are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys are thinking and feeling. Let me know down in the comment section your thoughts, comments, opinions, feelings, but most of all, of course, your predictions on how you think each and every single Premier League game will turn out this weekend. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. Thank you all so much for your continued or brand new support to the channel. It really does mean the world to me. Continue to support. I cannot honestly thank you enough for all of that good stuff that you guys provide. The love and support is absolutely amazing. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I really cannot thank you enough. So I hope this is a small way, right now at least, of repaying that support and appreciation. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I will see and speak with you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers guys, thanks everyone for watching. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll speak to you all again very, very soon.